displaced by the floods that hit the city last month are yet to be assisted with permanent shelter. The victims have been housed at a community hall for 2 weeks.
16 families who were affected by floods are still appealing for help. They lost all their belongings, including important documents, during the floods. Good Samaritans have stepped in to provide food and clothes. What they want is for their lives to get back on track.
They promised us to give us sites, and then they said they will build shacks for us, and then we'll be relocated. We'll no longer go to Kaleb Motsabi, but we don't know the place yet, but we're not going back.
If they can help us with new shacks, we want to be out of here. Till this far, we did receive help, but we want to go out of here.
The Mangaung Metro municipality say the victims will be relocated on Monday.
The place where they were before is not habitable. So that is why we said we are going to take a responsibility of getting them a temporary place as a human settlement of the Mangaung Metro whilst we are formalizing it, because there will be a point where we have to get them a permanent place where they will be settled.
Home Affairs Department has come on board to help the victims reapply for identity documents. Aphumelele Mdlalane, SABC News, Bloemfontein.
All right, SABC reporter Aphumelele Mdlalane filed that report and she joins us now on the line. A very good evening to you, Aphumelele. A month later, it seems, the 16 families are still destitute.
Indeed, Criselda, it's a sad moment for those 16 households who are still in Paradise Hall here in Bloemfontein. Like you said, a month later, but they did mention to us that there's been good Samaritans who were coming on board, the community people, the church members, as well as the municipality. I also remember that Premier Sintombela did go there just to give some intervention, and we're promised that come Monday, this coming Monday, they will be given a temporary shelter somewhere, because where this incident happened, it's an informal settlement. Now, we understand that the municipality is trying by all means to at least give them a temporary structure somewhere else while they are still fixing the issue of the informal settlement, where they did mention that the place is not habitual for them to, of course, to reside in that area. And they did also have problems, like I did mention on my story, that they lost important documents like your identity documents. And we remember that when schools were reopening, some children couldn't even make it to school.
Yeah, Aphumelele, let me just come into that particular aspect. They lost important documents. Why has it taken the Department of Home Affairs so long to respond? I hear in your piece there, you said they're now going to intervene. Why has it taken them a whole month to get assistance to these 16 destitute families?
What they did tell us, those people, is that the Home Affairs Department did come during the week of the incident to the hall where they were giving some assistance, but unfortunately they were not assisted all at once, and they did say that they are still waiting to be assisted. Like others, they just applied, but not all the information was taken, but they are hopeful that on Monday, things will get back to more normal. Like they did say that they appreciate the efforts that are being done by the Good Samaritans coming in. Like if you can see on my story, I did show that there are some clothing that they are given, and also food. It's still inside the hole. But what they want is that their lives should get back on track, because they want their shelters not to be housed in a hole for this long.
All right, Aphumelele, now the Mangaung Metro says they will be relocated on Monday, as you've indicated, but this is not yet a permanent place of residence. Is there any time frame being put at this stage to when they will be moved to a more permanent place to stay?
Unfortunately, we did ask the municipality about that because it's also important that these people should be given a permanent stay. Like you do mention that will still be a temporary space for them to occupy. The municipality is saying that it's working around the clock to make sure now that, unfortunately, because they were from the informal settlement, that's where the incident happened. It's not, they can't put time frames on when are they going to be able to assist them. But what they say is that they are working around the clock to make sure that those people get their lives back on track and they have shelter and also some other needs like your furniture because they lost everything during the floods.
All right, any further assistance that will be given to them from the visuals that we're seeing there? It's quite clear that, it might also be a hassle for food and, just some blankets. Is there any assistance? I heard you speak about a Good Samaritan there.
The only assistance that we've seen, but it's just that people are coming to just bring food and clothes. We haven't seen any of the furniture or some other things, unfortunately, Griselda. But also that's what they did say, that it won't be enough even if they are put on these temporary shelters. But what's important is that they also need the furniture inside because they can't stay where there's nothing, there's just clothes and food. What they need is permanent solution on the matter.
Well, thank you very much indeed for following up on that story. SABC reporter Aphumelele Mdlalane in Bloemfontein. Let's move on to another story in the Eastern Cape. Now, the family